which is very natural, exactly. All right, Rambam, Maimonides. We just began the 9th book, Laws of Carbonus Offerings. We're going to do the 3rd chapter today, not the first two, which is the Laws of Holiday Offerings. Okay. Chapter 1 of Chagiga. Included in this text are 6 mitzvahs, 4 positive and 2 negative. They're included in the following. Right, to appear before the divine presence, right, which means wherever that divine presence is, in the Holy Temple and so on, right, Jerusalem. Excuse me. Let in Liba, please. Thanks. To celebrate the 3 pilgrimages, the festivals, meaning Pesach, Passover, Shavuos, and Sukkot. To rejoice, rejoice in the festival, not rejoice in the festival. So there's one thing to go and celebrate, but now there's a separate mitzvah. Be happy, rejoice. Say l'chaim, sing a niggin, dance. Right, not to be before the divine presence empty-handed. Right. You know the story of the grandson's coming to visit his grandmother. So he says, "Grandma, I'm coming to visit." So he says, "Okay, when you come into the building, so then with your left elbow, press 215, right? So then you'll be let in. And when you get to the elevator, press with your right elbow, and come to come to the 5th floor." She says, "Okay, Grandma, I'm coming, but what's with the elbows?" "Well, I'm sure you're not coming empty-handed." That's Grandma's right. Right. So you're coming to God, you can't come empty-handed. What does that mean? Offerings, right? Bring offerings. Number 5, not to abandon the Levite by refraining from making him joyous and giving him the presents on the festivals, right? So you're coming, you have to bring gifts for others. To gather the people together on the day after Sukkot and the year on the sabbatical year, that's Hakel, the mitzvah of Hakel. Gathering in the 8th year, meaning after the sabbatical year. Okay, these mitzvahs explain the ensuing chapters. Jewish people have been commanded to observe 3 positive commandments on each of the 3 pilgrimages festivals. They are to appear before the divine presence, as it says. All the males shall appear. Sorry, David. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. I saw yesterday when I came back. I don't know what it is. If you can maybe drop by here and let me know, or maybe you can fix it. Sorry. So to bring festival offerings, it says you shall bring the festival offering to God your Lord, and to celebrate, you shall rejoice in the festivals. Separate mitzvah, simcha, rejoice. Torah's charge to appear before God mandates that one should appear at the temple courtyard on the first day of the festival and bring with them a burnt offering, whether from fowl or domesticated animals. One who comes to the temple courtyard on the first day of the festival without bringing a burnt offering has not only failed to perform a positive commandment, but has violated a negative commandment. It says, "You shall not appear my presence empty-handed," right? Like the grandma said. One is not liable for lashes for the violation of prohibition because he did not perform a deed, right? Right, liable for, in other words, lashes you would get if you got warned by 2 witnesses, right, and you didn't fulfill and you transgressed. But here's not a transgression. Why? It's a transgression because you came empty-handed. But it's not a transgression in the form that you'd be liable because there's no act here. There's no action. It was an inaction. right? That you didn't bring. For that, one cannot be liable for lashes. Lashes only when you, okay, when you did an act that's a violation of a prohibition. The Torah's charge to bring festive offering mandates that one offer a peace offering on the first day. Okay, so we just spoke here about not to come empty-handed, right? That's not to come empty-handed. That was one commandment, right? And that's a burnt offering, right? Sorry.
You have to bring like the cow or the bull
Or fowl. Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking about there's another commandment. Festival offerings, right? To bring festive offering mandates that are offering a peace offering on the first day. That's a different offering now. When one comes to appear before the divine presence, it is a known matter that peace offerings are brought only from domesticated animals. Okay. Women are not obligated in these two mitzvahs of appearing before the divine presence and bringing the festive sacrifice. How come? Why they're not mandated?
It's time related.
Exactly. It's time related law, and therefore women are. Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the Torah's charge to celebrate on festive mandates. And now it's the third mitzvah now we're talking about, right? What's that? Celebrate. Simcha, right? One offer a peace offering in addition to festive peace offering. So what does that mean? Bring another peace offering. So that's a third offering now, right? These are called festive celebratory peace offerings, right? It's not a holiday offering. It's not coming empty-handed. Those are two separate mitzvahs. Now, for the joy of the holiday, you're bringing another offering called a peace offering. This is called festive celebratory. It's a peace offering. You shall rejoice before the Lord your God. Women are obligated in this mitzvah. Why?
Already joyful.
Because the verse says, you shall celebrate you and your household. So that it includes your wife. What it means, though, that they don't have to come to do this, though. They're not obligated to come to do this. They just have to have it sent to the Holy Temple, right? He will bring it. The husband will bring it.
So he'll do simcha for the family.
No, it's her offering on his behalf, right? Okay, number 2. According to scriptural law, there is no fixed measure for the amount of sacrifices brought when appearing before God, right? For the festival offerings. So it doesn't say the amount, a limited amount that you need to bring. Each person according to what he gives, it says. According to rabbinic law, however, the limits were established. One should not bring a burnt offering to mark one's appearance worth less than a silver mea. Nor should one bring a festive peace offering worth less than 2 silver mea. It is a mitzvah to bring these sacrifices proportionate to one's wealth, as implied by the verse, according to what he gives. Right. So the rabbis made it, an amount that should be. Should be less, in accordance. Okay. Our sages did not establish a minimum measure for the celebratory peace offering, right? The third one, the joyous one that you're bringing. when a person will ascend to Jerusalem for the festival, if he is in a possession of sacrifices required when presenting oneself, he should bring them, or he should bring sufficient silver to purchase a sacrificial animal. Right. So either you're coming with these animals, or you're bringing enough money to purchase them. If he does not possess silver, he should not bring articles of value. He does not possess silver. He should not bring articles of value equivalent to silver. Don't bring, I don't know, something of value and then trade that in. You have to bring money for these things. Yeah, don't bring your couch. Okay. If he's in possession of an article worth several gold pieces, it's forbidden for him to ascend to Jerusalem empty-handed without silver or sacrificial animal. Why is one forbidden to ascend while bringing articles worth money? Perhaps he will not be able to sell them, or perhaps he will find impurities in the money he receives. The money that he receives? Because he might make a transaction. Because remember, money buys you an animal. If you brought a piece of furniture that's got great value, for let's say, whatever value, you might not have a buyer for it. You can't, with your article, bring a sheep as an offering. No one's going to buy your article. What you can do is sell it to somebody who needs that, have the money, and now go take that money and buy. Because there were vendors by the Holy Temple was selling this to people, so they would be able to, not have to carry it from, Tiberias far away, right? Or from wherever, right? So you might not find a buyer for it, or you might find a buyer and sell it in haste, and maybe the money was impure, right? Because as opposed to you brought money, you're going to make sure the money doesn't become impure, because you're going to be careful in order that you can purchase with it what you need to bring as offerings. Okay. Number 4. One who did not offer a burnt offering marking his appearance and his festive peace offering on the first day of the festival should offer them on the remaining days of the festival. This is implied by the verse, for 7 days you shall celebrate it unto the Lord your God. This teaches us that all of these days is fit for the offering festive sacrifice. They are all compensation for the first day. So the main thing is the first day, right? That's the beginning of the holiday, right? Main thing is that. But if you weren't able to do it then you have the rest of the 7 days of the holiday that you can bring the sacrifice. It is tashlumim, a compensation for the first day, but the main mitzvah is on the first day. Okay? Okay, if a mitzvah to be too early, it is a mitzvah to be early rather, and to offer these sacrifices on the first day. If either inadvertently or intentionally one did not offer them on the first day, they should be offered on the second day. Whoever delays is deserving of reproach. Concerning such a person is applied the words of censure from Zephaniah, I will gather in and break those who delay the festive prayers and offerings. Okay. Number 6. If the festival passed without one bringing these festive offerings, he's not obligated to bring them afterwards. It's just a situation, they're like implied in the verse, a wrong that cannot be righted. Just had that in Tanya, referring to, doing tshuva, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, we're going to stop here. Okay, to stop here. All right, folks.
Thank you.
We're good.
Emotional,
Good.
actually.
Have
Yeah.
a good day.